good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Division 2 finale here at Abu Dhabi for North America and EU. I am your commentator and your host today, GameLock, and alongside me, as always, for Division 2, it is Wildcat, and we have a very, very interesting fight here in Abu Dhabi. But first, Wildcat, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good after that race. Like that was probably the funnest race I've had all season. The most competitive I've felt all season, ironically enough for that. But lots of battles up and down the grid from what I could tell from my perspective. And even with the group I was with, it was about a good five of us, maybe six, that we were just kind of sticking together for a majority of the race and just duking it out and having a good time. So I mean, it goes to show, like, over a season, guys do progress and things get tighter and battles get cleaner but more intense at the same time. So I'm looking to see if good two can give us a good show in the day. And, as you have three teams in the fight for the Constructors crown with McLaren, Red Bull in P2, and then Aston Martin leading the charge by a mere 14 points, if I'm correct. So, I mean, at this point, it's kind of going to come down to these guys being across the line and kind of see how this thing's going to settle out.
Yeah, certainly, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it's all going to pan out. And if you guys get a chance to, we did stream the Division 1 game earlier today. That race was started at 3, and full quali went the whole distance in the race, and we had absolute battles galore up and down the grid. It was battles everywhere. And I'm, like you said, I'm very interested to see if Division 2 is going to follow in those, or in that step. But as you said, Drivers' Championship has been secured by the one and only Harold. He actually is racing here today in the Aston Martin, maybe wanting to get one more victory or a great finish to end off the season. But he is the Drivers' Champion. But like you said, you read it off, all three teams of Red Bull. Sorry, I had to pull it up. I had it on my phone for this exact moment and I accidentally closed it. So that's my fault as I pull it back up. But for the Constructors, it is a three-way battle between Red Bull, Aston Martin, and McLaren. And they are all, I mean, the difference is Aston Martin is 17 points ahead of Red Bull, and then Red Bull is only 9 points ahead of McLaren. So realistically, any one of those teams can win, and it will be very interesting to see. As we've seen, for the most part, Harold has been the main contributor for Aston Martin, and then Red Bull has been the tandem of the Governor and Nishka for most of the season. Actually, today, Red Bull will have two drivers. One is Slushy, called him Slash before, but Slushy, and actually him and the Governor have the two fastest laps so far here in short qualifying. And then McLaren of Barry and Tenzo, they've also been very consistent throughout the season. So, I mean, what are your thoughts, Wildcat? Do you think that there's anything we should be looking out for in this race as we are almost halfway through qualifying?
Honestly, at this point, I'd be really just keeping my eyes on those three teams and those six drivers because, I mean, these guys get together, they have nothing but the utmost respect for each other, but at the end of the day, they're still gonna be gunning and out for blood because they want that championship bad. Even though some say, "Oh, it's just the constructors' championship," and and you know, it doesn't mean a whole lot. To some, it means a lot more than you would think. As I personally have won three of them, so I mean, it's still regardless a championship, and you just can't, sleep on your opponents. And the governor, given I'm the team principal for Red Bull, asked, hey, he's like, hey, can you get Slushy in here? I need somebody to back me up because Nishka started this train with the governor, and he's trying to finish it and cap off a good season, as is, I'm sure, Barry and Tenzo as well for McLaren. Harold has been holding down Aston Martin for most of the season, and his teammate of Gianni was also there, but now Gianni has stepped out. So in his place is Dilby. So you've got two reserve drivers filling spots of full time to help kind of cap out a championship run from the team perspective. So it's going to be kind of interesting today to see what exactly is going to happen.
I apologize that I was muted, that I was having an issue, but yeah, I'm really curious to see how this race is going to go, because we've seen in Division 1, we saw the battles up and down the grid, and frankly, it was really hard to keep up with all the battles. We had your battle, Wildcat, another battle at the front, a battle in the midfield. I mean, it was going berserk, and I'm curious to see if Division 2 is going to head in that same direction, and you can include qualifying in that, because you can really see that the qualifying matters, because some of the drivers who qualified at the front of the grid, it's a huge benefit, because that very first lap you don't have DRS, so you can get a bigger head of steam and get a bigger gap before the DRS kicks in. So I mean, what do you think? It's going to be really interesting to see, especially like with the constructors in play. But do you think we're going to see a lot more of that, where the drivers at the front are going to try and be more aggressive?
Oh, I think we're going to definitely see a lot more of that, especially if you've got those three teams and those six drivers all right near each other, especially. It goes without question. There will definitely be a lot of aggression, and we'll probably see quite a bit of wheel banging. And I mean, a lot of like Abu Dhabi, it's a circuit that it offers a bit of everything. You've got slow speed cones, you've got medium speed, you've got high speed. You've also got, two decently long straightaway sections that let you really open it up with DRS open, especially. So I mean, a lot of it comes down to you've got to manage your battery, but you've also got to be aware that sector 3, it can be quite a serial killer to your rear tires. As we know, Abu Dhabi is a high grip track and it does have high dead. So if you can kind of, bring a mix and be able to manage all those things in one, you're set for a good day. And I mean, I found it easy to manage and harvest energy through sector 3, because I had the downforce that allowed me to just, keep on trucking and pushing without needing to really back off and worry about conserving the tires. So that probably honestly it comes down to you got to figure out what's going to work for you, but you've got to maximize it to the utmost and stay focused from lights out to the flag.
Yeah, consistent. I mean, consistent focus throughout this entire track. And I mean, you said it. This track basically has everything. And it's kind of on the same lines as some of the other tracks that we've seen throughout the season. It just, every single lap requires that kind of focus. And I mean, it's not just focus even on driving. Like you said, the tire degradation, you have to watch out for it, or it could take you by surprise. The hard compound is absolutely going to be a pivotal tire compound that they're going to have to work with. And actually, looking here at qualifying with 6.5, sorry, But Tinzo actually sets the fastest lap with a minute 22.9. Elite Dave with a 122.979 is now in P2. So kind of like Div 1, we're seeing a little bit of a spread. And actually, Barry is going to improve his time up into P3, but a little bit of a spread so far. But I'm interested to see how the rest of this qualifying will go with 6 minutes. But yeah, I mean, you have to focus so much here at Abu Dhabi, and honestly I think that's the reason why it's personally one of my favorite tracks. It just has kind of everything to it, and it just really tests the drivers. And I don't think that you could have a better finale like for a track. I don't think that there's a better track for the finale.
I would say I agree with you on that. I mean, honestly, to me, Abu Dhabi, it's just symbolic of the final round of a season. But because I mean, there's been some historic championships that have been won and lost around Abu Dhabi, honestly, over the years. But you've also got to look at a track like, say, Brazil. Brazil was the season ender for quite some time. And then you also had Japan way back in the early days with Senna and Prost and those guys. So I mean, there's a few tracks out there that are it's like a symbol of a season finale, but it yields and gives great racing at the same time. So, and I mean, I couldn't have asked it for anything more out of Div One guys. Like I told these guys right before we went in, I was like, just ready up, give it everything you got. It's the last race of the season, and let's just all go out there and have fun. And fun was had by everybody, I'm sure, at least those who finished. So, I mean, and just listening to the interviews and whatnot, like everybody had fun, they enjoyed it, and it was a good, hard fought season. Honestly, it wasn't a runaway. Nobody kind of really had any room to breathe. Honestly, right up until the last. So, I mean, if that's what we have to expect out of Div One next season, is it could be a lot more intense. Div 2 is showing those signs as well all season. Like it hasn't really been breathing room, though Harold has lead all season long, but he has had his fair share of challenges. So, and today he's got quite the challenge on his back. He's got to be able to bring this thing home to bring home the team crown. But when you got two teams that are hungry on your tail, and one of those teams has both their full drivers in today, it's going to be quite a difficult task. So, I'm curious to see if who's really going to come out on top. I'm not even going to make a call as to who will.
Yeah, realistically, I don't know if I could make a call either. I mean, it could go really either way, or any of the three ways, I guess, in a way we could say. But actually, talking about that, looking here at qualifying, Harold is going to be happy to know. I mean, he's in P8, and right now he's on a flying lap trying to set a better time. But Dilby's teammate is currently in P5, and if you look at the top 10, as you'd say, especially like looking in the top 8, it is all mostly McLaren, Red Bull, and Aston Martin. There's only two drivers in there that are not a part of those teams, and that's Bookie and Dave. And I think I asked this in Div 1, and especially considering the fight between Illyrian and Meraki Dawn, do you think that some of these extra drivers are going to end up being slight obstacles where you want to try and get better positions, even if you want to win the constructors?
Honestly, I would have to say yes, because I mean, you can't discount a reserve driver, because as we've seen, we've had reserve drivers that would pop up and out of nowhere they're spot on, and they're up to speed, they know what they got to do, and they're just rocking and rolling with it. They're not, struggling to get caught up with others. They're right in the mix. So I mean, I'm not gonna say that, Dilby or Slushy aren't gonna be up for the task. As we've seen, both of them, race with Div 2 before, and they can be quite the competitors. And then you've got Elite Dave in that Haas. He could be a potential problem for any of these teams, as we know, Elite Dave is quite the quick one himself. So, and you can't really just say that these teams have an easy day here. None of these teams have an easy day, and some of these drivers are looking to just go for the win. And I mean, I was talking to SJ earlier, and he has won around Abu Dhabi before, so he's looking to try and repeat that and cap out a constructors title.
Yeah, and I mean, really thinking about that, you got to think about the race win, because I mean, obviously winning the race gets you the most points. And I think if we're being realistic, I think the governor's win at Singapore really put them in this position. Because I mean, if you really think about it, winning obviously gives you the most points, and I think that him winning really put Red Bull in this position to remain in the constructor champion chase. And I mean, like you said too, Elite Dave, I kind of wish that Elite Dave was in for this entire season, because he's actually been sort of along the same lines as Harold and some of these other drivers, where he's just consistently fast no matter what the track is. And I'm really curious to see how that is all going to affect into the race, as we do have 30 seconds left. Or sorry, not less than 30 seconds, where the qualifying is ending now. So Harold will finish in P6 for now. We will see, I believe that it is Tinzo. So Tinzo has an invalidated lap, so he will not improve. And then the next one behind him is Bookie, who is on a fast lap. So we will see if Bookie's going to be able to improve. We'll see as they come across the line. He almost invalidates. Somehow keeps the car inside the white lines. Coming through sector 3. Oh, he's going to bail out of it. So he bails out of it. And I believe that is the Williams of John DT who will start the line. Or no, the other Racing Bull, he'll finish. The governor will improve. He's going to go up into P7. So that's a very good improvement for him. Elite Dave on a fast lap as well, trying to get that pole position. Will he get it as he comes around the last time? He will. So he gets the fastest lap with a 1:22.7. Barry is on a fast lap. Tinzo didn't have a response. So now Barry will peel into the pits and not respond. Senna, I believe, was on a fast lap, but he will not. And I think the last driver on track after that is Slushy, but he is not one on a fast lap either. So this is our qualifying. A fantastic lap from Dave in the last few corners, able to pull out that 2/10 gap.
Almost definitely. And I mean, with the circuit like Abu Dhabi, you've got to think about the traction on corner exits as well. And if you can maximize traction on the exit of, say, the first chicane after the first DRS zone, you can really carry a lot of time into through the end of sector 2 into sector 3 through that high speed section, and then coming in through the medium speed of the hotel section. You've got to maximize that traction on corner exit, and it looks like Dave literally did exactly that while maximizing the use of track evolution at its best point. So I mean, I feel we're in for a spicy race. You've got both the McLarens starting one right behind the other, and then the Aston Martin of Dilby by Slushy, then Harold, then the governor. This is going to be quite the spicy race with these top 7.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see how it's all going to play out as we will head into the race. We will see as the drivers will finalize their strategies and their setups, as it all comes down to this. I mean, the entire season, I mean, Harold probably is feeling really good as he already has the Drivers' Championship locked down, but absolutely, you still want to get that Constructors' Championship. And I think right now, obviously, McLaren is by far in the best position in those 2 and 3 spots. And Aston Martin, they're in the lead, but if they don't get the positions, then they could end up losing out. And I mean, the same thing for Red Bull. That it's going to be really interesting. I don't really think you could ask for a crazier kind of circumstances for like a three-way battle.
Absolutely, and it's gonna be interesting. This battle is, I mean, to a point, it feels almost historic at this point. You've got a McLaren fighting for a constructors title, a little bit reminiscent of the way the 2024 season kind of went down between McLaren and Ferrari. But now you've got Red Bull in that mix, so you can kind of say that it's a McLaren v Red Bull kind of day. But then Aston Martin turns up, and so I mean, you've got quite the interesting dynamic here. And I mean, a team that in real life we would normally not see, we haven't seen sniff a championship, but they're doing it here in the sim racing world. So I mean, I feel a little bit proud of that, kind of sort of, because I won my first two constructors with under the Aston Martin flag. So I mean, it's a little all right. I'm cool with that. So, I mean, it's not that it can't be done. As we saw in Div 1, the Haas pair took the constructors' crown this season. So, I mean, it kind of goes to show teamwork does make the dream work. And if your teammate can get closer to you and stay there race on race, it works out better for you in the long run.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I think realistically, that kind of makes me interested to see how things will turn out going into season 7, because of having, you saw the results of having two very consistent drivers. And I mean, who knows, depending on what drivers go where to what flags, it could be really, really interesting to see what teams are going to come out stronger in the next season as well.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
You are all good, as we are still waiting for the drivers here to get ready and set up. We're still waiting. Once we get the all clear from Wildcat to go ahead and start, then we will be underway.
I think they're starting now. Yep, there we go. Barry has figured it.
We will start as the 5 lights are on, and we are underway here in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for Div 2. It looked like Dave actually is going to get a good start, but then Barry and Tinzo is going to be up the inside of Dave, and he's going to take over the lead in turn 1 immediately. There is battles going on. So Governor is going to make a move, and now Slushy's just losing places. He's going to fall all the way to P10. It looked like he got off, and already movement being done as the Governor is holding on to P5, trying to make a move on P4. A little bit of close quarters there. There is no DRS, as they only rely on the batteries. The Governor racing down. He is side by side with Dilby. They're probably going to be side by side as they head into the first turn. There's a 3-wide battle. There's contact. Dave is around. It is full chaos. Barry will go into the lead. Tinzo P2. Dilby will remain in P3. We remain green for right now, as the Governor still trying to chase him down. That was insanity.
That was absolute insanity. Like that, I'm not. The aggression is very high today. So I mean, as we can see on the opening lap, DRS not even enabled yet. You guys getting on with it and getting down to business. Elbows out in full force and not backing down.
And it was just more unfortunate. Actually, there was a slide. I think Dilby had a little bit of a slide. The Governor will move up into P3, overtaking both Aston Martins. And it is unfortunate for Dave that happened, but we have seen, we even saw in Div 1, that it is absolutely not the end of the race. And actually, you could even see the largest gap here between cars is 1.5 seconds for Governor and the two McLaren. So this field is very tight-knit, and absolutely, even if something happens, you absolutely can't count yourself out, as the Kick Sauber of suspension trying to defend. Slushy trying to go around. Is he going to be holding on? It looks like he will. He will have DRS. And oh no, suspension did not have DRS, so Slushy will go ahead and go past. And the DRS coming in clutch, and already Elite Dave making moves once again, and he's going to overtake Reese into P10. And actually, crucially, Dave does not have any damage to his front wing. So very crucial there. And actually, Barry's going to make the move. Dilby's going to make a move on the Governor, and he's going to overtake the Governor for P3.
This is the kind of thing I was talking about. Like, these guys, they came to party and they are giving no, they are on the absolute maximum of aggression. And the Governor, he pulled out the white Red Bull livery, which we haven't seen him do all season. He decided to wait until the finale. So that kind of might be a signal that he is really on today, as we already saw in those couple opening laps. He is not messing around, and neither is Dilby. Harold's right behind him. While Slushy may have had a bit of a trip up at the start, he's down 3 positions. He's got to get himself worked back up into position quickly here. And Dave somehow has fallen now back to P12, back to P13. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he might have actually sustained some damage that we just don't see.
Yeah, there may be some unseen damage, but the two McLarens are going to do a little bit of a switch, and Tinzo will retake the lead, and still no movements. The Governor actually will close down, and actually look at Slushy will overtake into P6. So a great move from the Red Bull trying to catch up, and Dave is going to do the same thing and try to work his way back up. But actually, once again, there is no damage, at least visibly, that I can see to that Haas car. So once again, he'll just start to climb back up. And actually, we may see another move. No, it looks like Bookie was going to make a move on suspension, but just not enough space there, as all of the battles will continue. And actually, you can see Harold, he's been slowly chipping away, trying to catch up to the Governor, and now he's just at 4/10 behind the Governor. And I think even slowly, Dilby's actually starting to catch up to Tinzo and the two McLarens. So very interesting developments that we've seen so far.
Absolutely. And I mean, what the McLaren team is doing right now, it's reminiscent of honestly what I did. Yeah, I think this was season 2 when I won the first time for Constructors. My teammate and myself, we had actually been doing it all season because we were relatively close in pace all season long. We would actually, through DRS zones, just swap positions as a way to, hey, you told me this one, I'll tell you the next one, and we literally just kept doing it over and over instead of fighting each other. And it actually helped us maintain a gap and also build a gap where we needed. So it seems like that's what Barry and Tinzo have worked out, is I'm gonna have DRS on you. Okay, I'll take the toe. All right, now you told me on the next one, and then let's harvest up through sector 3 and then do it again. So and it's working. They're maintaining that gap for as long as they possibly can without slowing each other down that much. So the fact that Dilby's catching up, he's pushing hard, which means his tires are going to run out quicker. But I mean, at this point, it's only lap 4. It's anybody's race still.
It absolutely is anyone's race. And actually, looking back in the pack, it looked like suspension actually got a little bit of damage. Oh, and a little bit of a tap there from Senna onto the wall. And actually, you can see Dave is actually slowly starting to catch up as he's now trying to chase down Badger. And actually, I do think that suspension has damage, as the Mercedes of Angry Badger is going to go side by side with him, but not enough to do there. But yeah, I think that that is what the two McLarens are doing, that they go through the two DRS zones and they just kind of work in tandem to stay ahead. And I'm curious to see how this is going to progress throughout the rest of the race, especially whenever it comes to pit stops.
Absolutely. And then now you got to also look, Slushy has also made his way back to P6. So he's right there on the back of Harold. And I mean, if I were Harold, I'd be a little bit concerned with that. But Dilby's out, holding down this this battle right now, as the Governor does get through on Dilby. So, I mean, whoa. The McLarens had an issue.
They are...
Safety car.
Yeah, oh, So safety car is deployed. I'm not entirely sure. Tinzo fell down the order. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. A very odd safety car as Tinzo now falls down to P6 behind the 2 Red Bulls and 2 Aston Martins. Barry will retain the lead. And actually, Barry, he's gonna, oh my goodness, he's locked up, drifting into the pit lane. The Governor stays out, Dilby stays out, Harold will pit, Slushy will stay out, but Tinzo will pit, John DT will pit, Senna will pit, Angry Badger will not, Dave will pit, Bookie will pit, and it looks like the rest of the grid is going and pitting. We'll see if Rare Ghost decides to pit as well. Yeah, so interesting. We have our first safety car of the race, and already interesting decision that could end up affecting the race, because we see that some of the top drivers did not pit and then others did. And we can actually go ahead and show you the current tires, and kind of mixed. I mean, like, both Dilby and the Governor are on the mediums and they did not pit, but Slushy and Angry Badger are both on the hard compound and they didn't pit either. So interesting choices so far.
Very interesting choices indeed. Now, and one thing I will say, Abu Dhabi, it's not the kindest track even to the medium tire. So that hard tire, it is the absolute best tire to be on. As I know, myself and my teammate, we did a 2-stop of medium hard. So, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what the Governor has planned, but I mean, if you can keep your tires in decent shape, especially if you get yourself into a position where you're in clean air, as he's pretty much going to find himself once we restart from the safety car, you could effectively make good use of that and kind of, try to turn it into a one-stop race, especially with the safety car in play right now. And that's maybe what he's planning, is to try and push for the one stop and maybe gain an advantage that way, or just be hanging on to it by a thread at the end to try and put Red Bull up on top to maximize that the point tally at the end. So I mean, again, the strategy, it's gonna have to be something spectacular at this point. So I mean, with Dave already having pit, Barry having pit, Tenzo fell back. Like, these guys have to be on it from square one, from the word go. They have no room to mess around right now.
Yeah, they're going to end up having no room for error. But I will say an interesting thing to mention is that we have seen in Div 2 that they've lasted, or they've actually taken tires a lot longer than what we usually think is normal. I mean, Nishka was absolutely probably what you would call the king of the one stop, where he was somehow still fast, but able to basically save his tires for as long as possible. But I think up and down the grid, we've seen that the Div 2 lineup has been able to, or has been a little bit better at tire saving, and that their tires don't wear quite as much. So it will be interesting to see how much that will maybe has a factor as we go throughout the rest of the race. But if that is the case, then realistically, we could see the Governor and Dilby taking the mediums to maybe like 11 plus laps, which would be really interesting to see if they do, as the safety car will go around. So we will go one more lap and we will restart on lap 9 with 21 laps to go. So yeah, but I don't know, it's just a very interesting situation. Oh, never mind, take that away. Safety car just decides to go in this lap, so the Governor will take control of the field here. And I'm kind of shocked that they just decided it, but sorry, Wildcat, go ahead as they restart.
One thing what you were saying about Div 2, you are exactly spot on. Like, these guys, they've managed tires extremely well in Div 2. And if you go back and look at last week, I think it was Bookie or Bruiser took a set of inters the entire race at Monza. did not pit, and he came out on the podium for P2. So given he started outside the top 10, he had a phenomenal drive in that situation. So, I mean, I would not put it past these guys that the governor, especially given his history of taking tires quite a ways, is possibly playing for that one stop. And now that he's got his teammate Slushy behind him, he's probably looking for Slushy to be a rear gunner here to kind of help set him free to go chase off into clear air.
And it's going to be very interesting to see. And actually a dive there. And oh my word, the weird kind of glitch there with the contact. But Slushy will actually maintain P2 after the safety car, there is no DRS. So they have to fight only with the battery as they rush down. And it looks like Tinzo is trying to make a move. Is he gonna hold it? He doesn't, but Dave will move up into P6. So once again, Dave is moving back up the grid, and he's kind of becoming that wild card that we said before. If something happens, absolutely in Abu Dhabi, you are not out of the... Oh, sorry, from that angle, it looked like a crash. But yeah, if something happens, you are definitely not out of the race. And now DRS is enabled, so I'm curious to see. And how funny is it that at the beginning of the race, we saw the two McLarens playing the team game, and now all of a sudden, it's the two Red Bulls.
Absolutely. And I mean, one Red Bull's a reserve driver, but he clearly is understanding to the assignment of you go run off into the clear air. I'm gonna rear gun and guard you. Just go. And now that you see them two are attached to each other with that DRS, let's see if they actually pull something similar of what the McLaren team was doing to try and open up some space, as we see Barry now get through on Dilby to take P3.
Yeah, and actually, that was a great move. And actually, you can see Dave is now into P4, and he is now chasing down Barry as well. And now you'll see they do that little bit of a switch as Slushy will take the lead. And there's maybe a little bit of movement, but yeah, no, both Aston Martins will remain. Actually, no, Harold overtook his teammate, and actually Tinzo is now side by side with Dilby. Can he hold it around the outside? He will. A fantastic move from Tinzo around the outside in Sector 3, and he will take over P6. And I mean, talking about the team game, right now, advantage Red Bull here early, but actually with a little bit of a moment, Barry's actually caught up to the governor. And now all of a sudden we're going to have another fight, but so far it's advantage Red Bull and disadvantage Aston Martin.
Absolutely. And I mean, at this point, it's still anybody's race to play for. I mean, these guys are not spread out at all. They're all within DRS range of each other. So, I mean, I feel like a lot of what it's going to come down to is who can really manage that battery going down through these straights and be able to harvest enough energy without losing pace to be able to keep it going, as the governor is starting to fall back as Barry and Elite Dave get through on him on the straight on the first DRS zone, which leaves Slushy to try and get who has actually broken DRS range. And now he has to absolutely push. But remember, these guys also have not pit yet. So their tires are not as fresh as Barry and Dave and in the slightest. So, I mean, they've got their work cut out for them. But, I mean, at the best they can do is try to harvest and defend as much as possible and try to, you know, take as much out of these guys' tires as they can. But that safety car not pitting at that time kind of hurt them right now.
And actually, an interesting development, Dilby falling down to P12, so he is now out of the points, but Harold moves up into P4, and now he sees the governor pit. So as the governor will choose now to pit, we'll see, obviously, I'd probably go onto the hard compound, but now Slushy holding on to the lead for now with Barry chasing close behind. It will be interesting to see, but I was reacting earlier because I don't know if you saw it or not. I don't think you could have fit a piece of paper between Dave and Barry, as Dave made an aggressive move to the inside. I don't think that you could have fit a piece of paper between their front and rear wing. But now it's going to be interesting to see if Barry's going to make a move for the lead. Is he going to hold on to it? He tried, he went in too deep, and now there's contact. But Slushy holds on. What a great job by Slushy to hold on. And now Dave chasing him down with DRS. Is he going to make the move? They're side by side coming out of the DRS zone. Can Dave hold it along the outside? He will. So, I mean, one sector and everything can be thrown on its side as both McLarens now fall a little bit.
Absolutely, and I mean, this is fantastic battling. Now, something to keep mind of is that Slushy is on 10-lap-old hard tires. He started this race on the hard tires. So he's, you know, very much managing right now to make it happen.
But at the same time, as much as he can hold them up, and actually you'll see how good the new hard tires can be as Dave has actually gotten out of DRS range. But for right now, Slushy is doing his best, that he is holding up the gap, that any longer that he can hold it means that the governor can have a little bit more time to get back through. And actually you can see the movement there trying to break the toe as Harold is going to chase him down. Is he going to make the move? I don't think he has the space. He won't. So once again, Slushy will hold on there, but Harold by far has more battery as he's going to try to use it now. And opening the DRS, there he goes, and he's going to try, and there he goes. He makes the move, so Harold will move up into P2 and overtake Slushy. But as the strategy goes on, you have to remember that, I mean, Barry went on to the medium tire, and I feel like he's probably the one who suffered the most in all of this battling. But, I mean, right now, the same thing with Slushy. He's managing his tires well, and I don't think he's necessarily upset by it. The more that he can make the two McLarens or the Aston Martin fight, the longer he can go, and then he can make this a one-stop race. Oh, and Zagovner, oh, see, that's an example right there. Zagovner getting the fastest lap of the race so far. And actually, you can even see Harold is actually closing the gap and trying to chase down Dave. And you can see the two McLarens fighting. And actually, it looks like they'll do a switch. And, or actually, I don't know if it's necessarily a switch. They're side by side. And actually, it will be as Tinzo will take over. And I apologize, Wildcat. I don't know if you're muted or not, but... Wildcat may still be muted, but so far Harold 1.1 seconds behind Dave, trying to catch him. Both Tinzo and Barry trying to maintain that gap to Slushy, as Slushy will come across the line and make it 13-lap old hard tires. And the longer that he goes, the longer he's able to manage this. I mean, the more he's going to end up making it a one-stop race, and that's going to make everything more interesting. And I mean, who knows even if another safety car comes out. I believe that you are still muted, Wildcat, if you are still here, or you may not be here. Okay, Wildcat is muted in Discord, so we're still watching. And once again, Slushy maintaining that gap, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to a DRS for the McLaren. And actually, he backs off. Tinzo has no battery, so he's not able to pass. So maybe it's just battery management, that Slushy's just been having better battery management because Tinzo's not been able to do anything. And actually, another overtake as the two Racing Bulls will swap. Bookie will overtake it. Actually, Barry is going to pass his teammate. Barry passes it. So it looks like the McLarens, they're not really working together all that much. Or maybe they are working together as now Tinzo is recharging his battery. And that's the thing is that Slushy just doesn't have that help, but he is doing a great job of maintaining that gap. And talking about maintaining that gap, Dave still is maintaining that gap and actually almost has it to 2 seconds ahead of Harold. And that's the hard part is that, oh, now Dilby actually is going to make moves. And yeah, using that DRS, he's going to go past suspension and rare ghost. And Dilby will move up into P12. He still does not have any points. And the same thing with the Governor, but the Governor did pit a little bit early, so his hard tires are fresher, and he can probably go a lot longer on those hard compounds when everyone else needs to pit. And once again, the two McLarens getting stuck. We'll see if they make the move. I mean, right now, I feel like I'm watching 2021 Perez absolutely defending in the Red Bull, and once again there, he slows down in the corner, and that means that the McLaren has to back off. I mean, you got to give credit to Slushy, absolutely, that he is doing a phenomenal job of defending against these two McLarens.
Oh, absolutely. I'm back. Absolutely. I was kind of trying to keep track of it all. Slushy is absolutely playing the team game, and I mean he is doing that reminiscent of Checo Perez in 2021, trying to hold up both McLarens, not just one, but both of them. As we know, Barry's on 10-lap-old medium tires. Those mediums cannot be feeling that good at this point. And I mean, Slushy's on 15-lap-old hard tires, but he's making it work. As we know, that hard tire is a bit more robust. But looking at the data, Slushy's tires are not in the best shape. So he's gonna probably going to start thinking about pitting here at some point soon to get rid of those tires and get on some fresh rubber. And, you know, try to alleviate, as we know, the Governor is doing the, and Barry with a 3-second time penalty, that is not going to help his campaign.
I'm sorry for the reaction. That was what I was reacting to. He made a move. I mean, it was a very odd move. It was like a swing where it looked like he was going to go past, but then he goes off track, and that just hurts his case. And, I mean, you already know that if Slushy ends up giving the Red Bull team the best chance to win this, you already know he's probably going to get the biggest shout out of his life. But just absolutely great job defending against both McLarens, because now it is up to Tinzo. And I mean, if you're Barry, you have the 3 seconds and you fell down, you got to be thinking about pitting, and now he will pit. And the same thing for Harold. Harold actually pit. So even though he's 11 laps on the hard tires, he pits while Tinzo and Slushy are going to keep going. Senna is
he's definitely going to keep going. Barry tried to go in the pits and locked up and overshot, so that's definitely not going to help him, as he, aside from that 3-second time penalty, he's now 2 seconds off the back of his teammate, which definitely isn't going to help his case in any sort of imagination. But Slushy is defending with all his life and might against Tinzo to continue to be a thorn in the McLaren side. So, and with Harold now falling behind the Governor, it means the Governor's got to call order. He's got to keep that. He's got to open a gap to Harold immediately, as his hard tires are now 6 laps old and they're up to temp, and he's got to get rolling. But Barry felt the sting of those mediums being beyond their lifespan at this point.
Moving at the front again. It looked like Tinzo was going to try and go to the outside, but Slushy, defending the route, actually slowed down, and there was a little bit of contact. And so far from what I can see, and actually Dave is going to peel into the pits now. From what I've seen, it's been mostly the battery. That so far, Slushy has been maintaining his battery better than what Tinzo. That Tinzo on that last DRS was at 0% battery, that he's using everything to try and pass Slushy, and it's just not working. So now Dave will go ahead and pit. That will move Bookie into P3. Harold is in P5. He overtakes the Governor, but the Governor is in P6. If he's able to at least maintain that gap. Oh, and there's contact between the McLaren and the Red Bull at the front. So now DRS open. Is this going to be Tenzo's time? He gets back in the slipstream. As they head down to the first turn, is this going to be finally the moment? Defending the inside line. And once again denied, and Slushy will continue. So now we'll see. Tenzo still has battery and DRS. And it looks like he's not going to be able to make the move. I mean, this is, if you want to show an example of how to defend in Formula One, you need to just show this race, the Slushy's race, to anyone who asks that, because this is just insanity.
Insanity isn't even the word. I mean, it's honestly a nail biter watching this unfold. So I mean, it's interesting, is what it is. It's a nail biting race. It's something that all should be seeing. And if they want to wonder why people watch Formula One, this right here is one of the biggest reasons.
And look at that! Tenzo peels into the pits, and Slushy is still going. He has a 5-second gap ahead of Bookie. And I mean, can you believe that? Slushy on 18-lap-old hard tires did not give up a single position to an Aston Martin or 2 McLarens. Like, I mean, this is, I don't think I've ever seen any driving like this, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I'm curious to see if he's going to pit now, as we have 11 laps to go. And now might be the time to pit, because you could get 10 good laps out of the mediums to finish the race. And I mean, this is just absolutely insane. And I mean, if everything goes according to plan and Slushy ends up winning the race, that could put Red Bull over for the constructors. I mean, this is just, you couldn't have asked for more chaos. I mean, this is just incredible.
Absolutely, but Slushy is he's honestly gonna have quite the mountain to climb, because with Dave rapidly closing in on him, he's got to get into the pits and get it done now. And if he comes out on the medium tire, which you have to, as you have to use 2 different compounds in a race, he's going to have to be absolutely flying off the rails to be catching him and then making the overtake to win, as Slushy now does go into the pits.
Yeah, Slushy is going to fall. He does switch to the medium, so we will see. Barry is right there. Will he do it? Actually, Tenzo also has a penalty now. So now we'll see, where do they come out? And so Barry will overtake, but Slushy, for all intents and purposes, still in P6. And if a safety car comes out, he is absolutely in the best position. And right now, the Governor still holding on in P4. Aston Martin still leading constructors, with Harold currently in P2. Again, I would be very interested to see if there's going to be another safety car, because we saw that in Div 1, that everything looked like it was going a certain way, and then a safety car came out, and that made basically everything change. So curious to see if that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, you got to give Slushy credit just for the defending. But now, in terms of the constructors, right now, you would say it's advantage, advantage Aston Martin. I do believe that Wildcat needed to mute, or I don't know if you meant to mute. But now we're going to see, Barry's going to get another penalty. And actually, I will go ahead and pull up the penalties tab. So Barry has 6 seconds worth of penalties. Tinzo has 3. John has 3. Senna has 9. And then suspension has 6. So, and I don't know, I'm assuming you're back, Wildcat. Can you see how many warnings that the top drivers currently have?
So with 6 seconds of time penalty, I'm pretty sure Barry's fuming it. And I mean, to a point, I mean, it's all track limits at this point. So I know he's not exactly happy about that, as they started off so well in this race.
Yeah, and track limits around Abu Dhabi are absolutely unforgiving. And it can, I mean, you can get track limits almost anywhere, really, because there are just so many like openings where your car can go over the white line. But the worst case scenario is that now, if anything, Harold's the governor, or Barry, you can't get more penalties. Actually, look at that. Slushy's going to go ahead and set the fastest lap.
That Slushy setting that fastest lap, that is an indictment on his intentions. But Barry having that 6 seconds of time penalty is not going to help him, as with Slushy inside that window by 3 seconds, he's ultimately Slushy's worst case scenario. He finishes P5 at this point. But I mean, there's still a decent amount of time. Slushy could easily find his way up to the podium. And I mean, Red Bull really, they just need a good result, and to outscore Harold at this point, they have to outscore Harold by, I think it's 14 points, 17 points, and then they can make it happen.
And now we're going to see, and actually Barry is going to get the move done. A great job by Barry. Great driving from both him and the governor. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how that's all going to work out, because... But I mean, the other thing too is that Barry has been fast, and for the Red Bull, they have to make sure that they maintain. Actually, the governor is going to go into the pits, I believe, or I don't know. Yes, he did go into the pit. Sorry. So the governor will go ahead and pit. I will see where that puts him out. He's going to get a new set of hard tires. We'll see where that will put him. That's going to put him behind the Racing Bull, and we'll see where he comes out. This could be crucial, and he's going to come out ahead of the Haas. And is he going to secure it? He will. So he remains in the point. But right now, Senna will get another time penalty. So the governor will remain in the points. Bookie has not pit. So if you are Slushy, you have to maintain that. There was a caution in sector 3 where the Aston Martin was, but I do not see that. Or I didn't see it. So, but yeah, like you said, with the 6 second penalty, actually Barry does overtake Bookie, and you can already see that Slushy is already catching up. So I'm curious to see, really right now, it all comes down to the governor and Tinzo. It really comes down to where they finish, and we can try and do some rough calculations as the race ends. But really, with Harold and with Dilby in P12, he doesn't score any points, so Harold has to get as many points as he can. But so far, he does not have the fastest lap. Slushy does. So it's, I don't know. It's just so close.
Post doesn't even explain this entire race. Like, I mean, there's too many variables to know exactly how this is gonna play out. But Slushy has now passed Bookie, and he's staying within that gap of Barry's penalty to make sure that he secures that position, which is gonna work out well. The governor is now on the back of VRL, and looking to get that move done, but then he has to get close to Tenzo. And I mean, at this point, it's gonna come down. I mean, I feel like honestly, this is gonna come down to a decision of can Slushy put himself higher on that podium and possibly make an overtake on Harold.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. If Slushy's able to catch up, and I can go ahead, and we already have the tires pulled up, I think everyone is good to the end. I think the only person who may pit is Bookie and maybe throw on a pair of softs at the very end, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, he is actually gaining a slight amount of time. He actually is gaining time, especially in Sector 1 on Barry. But with the 6-second penalty, that is really the hard part for Barry to really deal with. But again, I still feel the same thing that, I mean, Tenzo is catching up to Bookie, but right now the governor is just, he did move up as a position, which is good for him. He moves up into P7, but he with being 12 seconds behind Tenzo, I don't know if he's going to be able to catch up. We still have 5 laps remaining, and I mean, anything can happen in terms of a safety car or something like that, but I mean, it's going to be, I think that any one of these teams could win the points for constructors by 1 or 2 points. Like, it's going to be as close as you can possibly make it. And like I said, once the race ends, we will do our best to quickly calculate and see roughly who won. Because, I mean, it's going to be close. Oh, safety car deployed! Reese retires! Oh my goodness! Reese retires. He crashed into the wall, and that's gonna throw everything. And actually, Elite Dave is already passed. Harold has already passed the safety car as well. Barry and Slushy peeled into the pits. Everyone is peeling into the pits behind. Tenzo stays out. Tenzo stays out, and he does not go into the pits. Does the governor? Here's the question: is the governor? The governor is not going to pit. He's gonna keep going. Oh my goodness, now this has got thrown on its head. What in the world?
Personally, this is without a doubt a 2021 remake. As Slushy throws on the soft tire, and the governor stays out on the hard tire. Had a few laps on it. I mean, these guys are looking to make something happen. If Slushy goes on full attack here, with the governor right behind him, it's gonna work out. It may work out in their favor, especially with Tenzo and Barry ahead with 3 and 6-second time penalties. And by the time this race gets going, you're literally going to probably have only 1 racing lap remaining. This could be the constructors title decider, with Harold staying out in P2. This could be what decides the constructors title right here.
Yeah, this is definitely a 2021 adjacent, and actually now, Elite Dave, oh, Dave peels into the pits. So Dave actually will pit. Harold is going to pit as well. So now we'll see if Tenzo decides to pit. This could be a gamble. If Dave and Harold get out of the pits in time, you can see actually Tenzo's fighting the Delta. He wants to get to I think he wants to get to the pits quicker. So now Dave is out of the pits. Harold is out of the pits. So it's going to be a race. I think they are actually going to get out ahead, both on softs. Tenzo does stay out. So, oh my goodness, they take the risk. But wait, now we're going to see. Tenzo is racing Harold. Harold will get out. So again, maybe another wrinkle here in the Constructors' Championship. Harold does get the pit off, so he will have the soft tires. But once again, it's going to be hard because he is the only Aston Martin in the points. So this is all going to come down to, can the 2 Red Bulls make sure that they get a 3 and 4 finish or higher? Or are both McLarens going to overcome their penalties?
So I was just checking in on the point situation here, and as it stands, if it finishes the way it is right now, Slushy would finish on the podium in P3 with the governor right behind in P4. And then which Tenzo and Barry, honestly, they're the ones who are losing out the worst on this. Harold would finish in P2 with 20 points. The governor and Slushy combined would be only 29 points. So even with that finish, they would literally just miss out on snatching that constructor's title. They have to quite literally go on the most aggressive full attack for these last couple laps of their life to get Harold out of position. And then they also have to rely on Dave to possibly maybe even slow Harold up just enough to put him out of position as well. So there's a lot of different factors here to rely on to make this thing happen.
And actually talking about a lot of things happening right now, Dave has control of the grid. As the safety car comes in, it will be green flag with 2 laps to go. Dave will slow up. Actually, Dave did slow up, but now he goes. So now here we go with 2 laps to go. Now Harold is chasing down Dave. If Harold can win the race, that will all but secure the constructor's title. But actually, Dave is going to get a great head of steam out of turn 1. And actually, look at this. You can already see Slushy making a move on Barry. Slushy is already right behind Barry and Tenzo. And we'll see. The governor did not have a great launch. So we'll see Slushy already making trying to make moves. No DRS for this lap. It's going to be all battery. And actually, look at Harold. Harold is actually chasing him down. But he's going to hold off. And actually, Barry's going to overtake his teammate. But still, once again, with the penalties, it may not matter. It's all going to come down to if Harold finishes in P2 or not. And I mean, this is gonna be chaos down to the wire. And now Slushy trying to chase down. He is right behind Tenzo. Those soft tires coming in handy. And now it looks like he's gonna try and make to the move to the inside. I think Tenzo's trying to hold him off. But now looking, is he gonna make the move? He's trying to. With those soft tires, he just has more grip. So now goes off track. No, once again, still holding on. But Harold is actually still chasing down Dave. So now here we go with white flag in the air. It all comes down to this lap. Harold still chasing down Dave. Harold was within 0.3, and actually Barry is almost out of DRS range. I think he might have gotten it. Harold slows up a little bit. Senna gets another 3-second time penalty. So now Slushy and the governor both have DRS. I can imagine that Slushy probably wants to chase down the 2 McLarens, but because of the DRS train, are they going to be able to? Slushy is trying to chase him down. Is he going to go from a long way back? He's going from a long way back. Tenzo locked up. So Slushy may have the switchback. He's going to go for it. He actually does have the switchback. What a move. What a move by Slushy. He moves into P4 as he passes Barry. Now the governor's going to pass Tenzo as well. So we have a P4 and a P5, and Harold's gonna overtake Dave. Does Dave have a fight back here in this last turn? He locks up in sector 3. If Harold wins, he secures it. He's holding on for right now. And it looks like unless something happens, he's gonna hold on to it. The winner of the Constructors is the winner of the Drivers' Championship. Harold wins it for both himself and Aston Martin. Unbelievable. Harold will win the race here in Abu Dhabi. Dave in P2, Slushy P3, the Governor P4, Bookie P5, Tenzo P6, Barry P7, Badger P8, Senna P9, John P10, Dilby P11, then Suspension in P12, and then it will be Rare Ghost in P13. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable isn't even the word. This was spectacular. This was magnificent. It was something for all to see. And to those out there watching, we do appreciate, like, this was the perfect end to a long, hard-fought season across 2 different divisions. And we saw nothing short of amazement up and down the grid on both sides. No quarter given. Everybody fought to the checkered flag. There was no gap that was able to ever be formed to really be a safe haven. So, I mean, I tip my hat and to all these drivers, they did a fantastic job today and throughout the season, honestly. And congrats to Harold on winning that driver's title and doubling down with the constructors.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. And actually, we'll almost get a clean sweep. Harold will win the race. Slushy will get the fastest lap, driver of the day, and most overtakes. I mean, absolutely unbelievable finish to an unbelievable season. And like we said at the very start, it could not have been closer. And Harold absolutely had the drive of the day, getting into the win. And now we will see. We'll both have, or I think Harold unfortunately does not have or does not do interviews. And I don't know. We haven't had Dave in here. We can see if we get Dave in here. But we do have Slushy in here. But absolutely unbelievable season. And actually, we can go ahead. We'll go ahead and get started. Slushy, congratulations on the P3, and you came so close to or as far as we can tell with the results, came so close for the Red Bull constructors. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and I gotta say, absolutely amazing drive from you. I mean, we talked about this race as like it was a 2021 equivalent. You were absolutely amazing on defense. I don't even know if that describes it. You defending against two different McLaren drivers and you didn't give up a single position. Like, how in the world, like, how were you feeling with two McLarens right on your rear wing trying to pass you almost for a consecutive, what was it, almost 15 laps?
Yeah, I'd say about 15 laps. I was chilling. Didn't feel pressured whatsoever.
I mean, I don't know if you could really think of a better answer. I mean, just from watching it from the commentator's point of view, you were doing basically everything that you could. And I mean, the safety car came out at the end. I already know that probably people are not going to be happy, but did that kind of make anything a bit more chaotic now that then at that time you had both McLarens in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, anything, I don't really have anything else to say. Just unbelievable drive. I already said that if anyone wants to know how to defend in Formula One, they just need to watch this race and watch you. And we will verify the constructors results. We'll verify if you and the governor are constructors titles. We'll verify it. But before I let you go, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to on stream?
Have to say my teammate.
And I guarantee you that the governor is probably really happy to hear that. And actually, so look at that. So I will let you go, Slushy, if you need to head out. But thank you for your time of being in here. So now, for the first time ever, we have Harold, who's in here for an interview. This is like historic. I mean, he did just win the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors, so I mean, maybe it's a special occasion or something like that. But Harold, how are you doing right now?
Hey, hi everyone. Do you listen to me? Can you listen?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, good. It's really nice to win on the last lap.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, first off, congratulations on winning the Drivers' Championship. And for right now, as far as we can tell, you won the Constructors for Aston Martin as well. I mean, you made the last lap pass. Were you happy that the safety car came out?
Not really. Not really, because Dave was really faster than me all the race, so I didn't expect to catch him, even with soft tires. But when the safety car leave the track, I was close to him and saving all my battery until the last two straights, and I could do it.
Yeah, and I mean, absolutely fantastic drive. And I mean, same thing that I told Slushy. Absolutely, you and him, and I mean, all of you guys at the front were driving very, very well. And I mean, I will let you go and celebrate. But before you go, first time interview. Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to or give credit to on the stream? May still be.
He's on mute.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's on mute. There we go. Are you there? Can you hear me, Harold?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I just want to share this achievement with Gianni De Bellucci, my partner, because we made almost all season together, and he made good points too.
And Gianni, even though Gianni was not in this race, they're probably very happy to hear that. But I will let you go and celebrate. And actually, we do have one more, because why not? Potential, depending on where the Constructors' Championship ends up. The governor is in here as well. How are you feeling about how your teammate was defending like 2021 Perez?
We just needed we had a plan. Where's Berry? Where's Berry? You gotta get Berry and Tenzo in here as well. Like, it's just the final race of the season, boys. Don't be scared. Let's come in. Like, we knew what we had to do. You know, we knew the battle was between Aston and McLaren, and you know, we knew that we had a plan. I didn't think I'd be leading the Abu Dhabi race on the safety car restart, yeah, well, I saw a little bit of drama. I think Berry and Tinzo actually came together, which was massive. And then it was like, right, then I overtook, then had to give the place back and stuff like that. So that was a bit annoying. And then, yeah, and then they obviously went into the pits and then did their strat. And I thought we could probably get the hards to the end, but they weren't. So I had to pit. Lucky I did pit, because I don't think I would have been probably in P4. But no, honestly, absolutely fantastic job from Slushy. He knew what we needed to do. We were making the decision for me to go and for him to hold, because we just needed to be at the front. You know, Elite Dave and Harold was just too fast on those fresh tyres. You know, I did as much as I could, but I'll be honest with you, it's been an it's just been absolutely amazing for the finale. And you don't want to go anywhere, because if the results are correct, we've beaten Aston Martin by 1 point to the Constructors.
Yeah, that is why we're making sure that we get everything right. We want to make sure, and I will let you guys ask. This will be a question for you, Barry, and Tenzo, who all joined. I'll let you guys each answer individually. But that last safety car, I mean, me and Wildcat immediately called it that it was reminiscent of Abu Dhabi 2021. What was each of your reactions to that very late safety car coming out?
I was gutted. I was catching Harold crazy quick. And I was really confident that I was going to get him before the end. It was just a case of whether I could get past him and get enough of a delta to make up for my sloppy penalties. Yeah, it was gut wrenching, because I knew that was basically basically my race over.
I see the governor or Tinzo, if one of you want to answer the same question. Like, how did you feel when the safety car came out?
I mean, mine was from quali. I did the 2x in laps, and then I was like, I'm not sure if I want to go for a last one, but I was like, sure, because I did like plenty of mistakes. And then I was like on a very good lap. I was like minus 0.4 from like pole, and then like I invalidated, and then I was like, okay, so I just lost the tires and the P1. And then like whenever the safety car comes out, I was like, okay, so now I have no softs. And yeah, I had to stay out.
So unfortunate there. And then the governor, you were in a similar situation that actually you were the first car who didn't stay out. So how did you feel when the safety car came out?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting one because my tires were gone, so it was just like trying to continue what we're doing. But yeah, it was like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to go and use softs because they were obviously used soft from quali. So it was like, right, I'll just stay on the hards. But then all of a sudden, when we got on the safety car restart, I nearly went into the wall. Well, not into the wall, but I just went so far off track because the dirty air with my teammate in front, and I knew that I had Bookie behind as well. So. But we knew what Tinza was trying to do, and we knew he was trying to hold that 3-second gap in front. And then obviously, I think he then thought it's pointless. He wasn't going to be able to do it. So yeah, and I got past him on the final bit. So when I saw obviously Sashi into P3 and me into P4, we were like, yes, that's the result. So yeah, it was tough. It was really tough out there. I want to ask Berry and Tinza, did you two come together?
No, so Tinzo spun literally as the first safety car came out. Which
really?
was, yeah, our strategy was working so well. I think we had a 2-second gap between us and P3 when it happened. But yeah, Tinzo DM'd me straight away as soon as he went in the pits about his spin. It was, yeah, very unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I don't think... I'm just doing the results now. I think just because of Harold and where is it? Dilby. I think they've got it. Just I'm just looking at it now. Just working it out with obviously pending pens and stuff. Harold obviously wins the championship by 202 points. Yeah, Aston Martin do take it. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, Sashi, but yeah, 298 to 282 to 261. So we just missed out.
Wow. So very close. I mean, very close championship indeed. I mean, straight to the end of the race for constructors. As we finish off this stream, we'll finish off this Div 2 season. We move into hopefully season 7. Barry, Tinzo's the governor. We'll go down the line. Do you guys have any last shout outs that you guys would like to give?
I got to say, shout out to every single one of you. It's been one hell of a fight. Harold's just probably been the most consistent driver I've ever seen. And I don't think I've ever seen Harold get a track limit penalty. The guy keeps it so clean. But no, it was exciting the whole way, and I'm glad it went right down to the last race for someone to win it. So yeah, well done everyone.
Now, Tinzo, do you have anyone that you would like to shout out on stream for the end of the season?
I mean, I would like to say a special thanks to Barry for just helping me out, being the TP. And then Le Club, Division 1. We're just teammates. And then also Illyrian for helping me through the season.
Awesome. And then finally...
I would like...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would like to say something and just thank you to all the people that make this league possible. I think this is one of the leagues I like the most because you can fight hard but clean. Um, Thanks for all the time you take making these races.
And then finally, but definitely not least, Governor, do you have anyone that you would like to give a shout out to as we wrap up?
Yeah, I think everyone behind the scenes. Obviously, we've got a new admins going into next season, but obviously before they came in, a big thanks to obviously Wildcat hosting all the races and doing what he does best. Berry for his his ideas and coming in as an admin and grabbing it the ball by the horns. Absolutely fantastic racing with him. I had a real good night on the track with him tonight. Obviously, the better man won tonight, which he hates. Yeah, just all the drivers. Like it's been interesting, but it's been an absolute fantastic season. And Harold, mate, you're a phenomenal driver, mate. I've had some very, very good battles with you, and well deserved. And Aston Martin, I think that was the main aim. We wanted everyone to be fair tonight, so we tried to get everyone into a car. And obviously, McLaren have got their team, and Red Bull needed a driver, and I wanted to have a driver for Harold because he's done a fantastic job for Aston Martin. It was unfortunate what happened with Gianni, but we wanted a fair fight, and unfortunately we did have a few connection issues tonight, which did cause a bit of a pain in the backside. But everyone had a good effort as well, and yourself, you've done an absolutely fantastic job in comms all season, getting up and doing Div 1 and Div 2, and also Cheeky Chaz and Bands, all the TPs, all the drivers, and also my teammate for tonight, Slushy, as well. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a really, really good season, and to put a win on it and a podium on the final, we can't ask for anything better. So yeah, just get ready for next season. It's going to be absolutely immense. We've got a new revamp. We've got new things going into it. I can't wait. And yeah, I can't wait to see Harold see what he can do in Division 1 if he goes there. So yeah, just a privilege from everyone. And yeah, everyone look forward to the DLC and can't wait to do it all again next season.
I also can't wait. I can't wait either. I hope that if next season is going to be like this, I can't wait to commentate it again. But that's going to wrap it up for Season 6, both in Div 1 and Div 2. Once again, thank you to all the drivers. Thank you guys for all the love and support for this entire season. And then one last time here for this season, thank you to the sponsors of Sim Racing Center, Sim Lab, and Pagnian Simulation Experts. We hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast of Rush Racing North America and EU. We hope to see you soon for the next season, for Season 7, with all of its changes and all of its new championship battles. We hope to see you then, but until then, we hope you have a good day, a good night wherever you are, and we will see you in Season 7.